Terrific Tuesday. It's Wellness Tuesdays, and she's in the building. The licensed professional therapist, Fresh, is here.
What's up, D?
Now, what's up? We talking about making a house a home today.
Yes.
How do you do that?
How do you? Oh, you just dive right in.
Still a chick.
Okay. Before we dive right in, can we explain why this? Is
Why did this come up? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yes. So this came up because I was talking to a client, born and raised in Castlehane area.
What's up?
And we were talking about the anniversary of her aunt passing away that's coming up in March.
Okay.
And she was telling me how her and her uncle still live in the home and how her aunt basically raised her and how things are kind of awkward now. She doesn't really know how to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, help me understand that. Like, why do you not know how to be? And what she was able to verbalize to me, which I love her for having the strength to recognize this and say it to me, is that her aunt was the communicator. Her aunt was the person that made the house a home, that did the cooking, that did the cleaning, that really played that matriarchal role. And then it really got me thinking about what makes a house a home and how important it is to make a house a home. And what I mean by that, for people who don't understand, let me break it down a little bit. Just because you live somewhere in a building, and it may be a house, that doesn't mean it's a home. That doesn't mean it's your home. That doesn't mean that people feel comfortable and welcome there. It just means that's where everybody lays their head at night.
Mm.
So what I'm talking about is the power of making a house a home,
Yeah.
and how that helps provide resilience, how that helps provide what we therapists like to call protective factors, how that helps to do all those kind of things.
Okay.
Why are you so quiet?
Because
why?
I'm taking it all in.
You've never thought about this?
Not really. Not in a bad way.
Okay. Well, I mean, does your house feel like a home?
Yeah, 100%.
So have you thought about the things that make your home feel like a house feel like a home? Okay, yes. What else?
Just what you get when you walk in the door, how you feel, if something's cooking, it's like
Yes.
warmth,
Yes.
literal and figurative.
Yep.
Laughter.
Mm-hmm.
You can laugh at the house, you can cry at the house. It's protection. It's protective. It's your fort. It's your.
Right.
When you go home, you don't want to hear nothing else. It's your house.
Right. And it's also a place where I would imagine that you get to be other things besides BiggB.
100%.
So one of the things that I noticed about
I
you,
am not
you're not
BiggB
BiggB
at all.
Okay. So what are you?
People ask for BiggB to leave when I get to the house.
Oh, they asked for
There's
BiggB.
no BiggB at the crib.
Oh, there's no BiggB.
Brandon Hickman at the crib.
Brandon Hickman at the
Yes.
crib.
Uncle.
I love it.
That's it.
Okay.
Godfather, all that. I'm that in the house.
Okay.
So it's a different world.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It also sounds like less pressure.
No, still the same pressure.
Still the same pressure?
Not just
Try.
messing. It's less pressure. It is less pressure. You put your feet up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Chill out a little bit.
You're not on. You're not on. You're always on. In public.
Right.
You always gotta be on.
Yes, I feel that.
It's a place where you can like, look, I don't want to be bothered right now. I can be quiet because I talk all the time anyway. So I can be quiet and do what I need to do. That's what I like.
So I wanted to talk today about how do you make a house a home?
How you do that?
Because a lot of us don't really know how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some of us don't understand the importance of doing that.
Yeah.
So you tell me, which one do you want to address first?
How do you make it?
So how do you make a house a home? I think there's some really important things. One is tradition.
Well, don't give away. Not yet. We're gonna talk about it.
All right,
Hold up.
tradition.
It's Tory Lanez Talk to Me, featuring Rich the Kid. The first one up, How to Make a House Home, Traditions. Coast 97.3, Wellness Tuesdays. What up? Coast 97.3, no more hip hop and R&B. That's Megan Thee Stallion. It's called me. She's in the building. Fresh, what's up?
Chilling.
One of the joints to making the house a home, making the home is actually traditions.
Yes.
What is that?
So there's a lot of different ways to have traditions. You can have holiday traditions. What?
So I know what a tradition is, but how do we start tradition?
Well, it depends if you want to have daily, weekly, yearly.
Yeah.
I suggest a little bit of all three. So like a daily tradition in my household was dinner. So we always had dinners together. You weren't allowed to answer the phone. You weren't allowed to be on the phone. You had to pay attention. A lot of times we would cook together, which was really just a really happy memory. I can remember cooking with my grandma, how much fun that was.
It's always cool.
Yeah. Another option is cleaning together, because I think that it's important that we all learn responsibility and that we are doing things together and understanding that everybody's kind of responsible for the space. So cleaning together is another option. Singing, dancing, those kind of things, like any kind of movement, because it kind of livens up your house.
What about a game night or something like that?
Game night is amazing. I know some people that start it and just have so much fun. I know friends actually that don't have kids, and what they do is every week or every other week on like a Monday night, they get together and do game night, and they love it. And it's such a good thing for mental health, because then they feel connected to each other. They feel like they have some stability.
Right.
And it's a place to just go and chill and not be worried about work and this and that. So game night is definitely a good option.
Okay.
For sure. So that, I'm trying to think of other ways. And then there's yearly stuff, but I think I'm going to get into some brain science stuff.
Okay.
If you're down.
You know, I like the brain stuff. Keep it locked. We got more. We're talking about making the house a home, which helps with your mental.
Yes.
It's Mental Wellness Tuesdays. Get right. We got more on the way. It's Coast 97.3. Coast 97.3, number one hip hop and R&B. That's the baby with Bop. The big ride home going down right now. We talking Wellness Tuesdays. Making the house a home. Number one, having traditions. Fresh said having traditions.
Yes.
Doing things different at the house. Maybe starting your own tradition. Maybe it's, maybe it's holiday traditions, a cookout.
Yep.
Christmas, whatever.
Yes.
Mother's Day, Father's Day. Doing traditions there. Game nights.
Game nights is huge and very easy to do.
I'm going to try to do one today.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's Tuesday.
See, everybody knows about my Tuesday.
Yes.
And so, what's the brain science behind this?
Okay, so the brain science behind making a house a home, and some of y'all are going to be like, that's why my grandma did that. Not because of brain science, but because she just intuitively probably knew.
Mm-hmm.
But for those of us who don't have that intuitiveness, so how to make a house a home in terms of brain science. The first thing you would benefit from thinking about is what kind of things do you hear on a normal day-to-day when you walk into your home. So if is the music always on? Is the radio always on? Is the TV always on?
Somebody always yelling and fussing?
Yes, is there always somebody yelling? Like, what's going on?
It's like, I'm home.
And to some people, the thing we have to remember, to some people that's relaxing, to some people it's not. Like, I know some people come to my house and they're like, Franchon, it's so quiet, please turn on the TV. And I'm like, no, I like the quiet. And then there's other people that really come to my house and they're like, oh, this is so peaceful, thank you so much, I'm so glad the TV's not on. So it just kind of depends on what people want, but something to be mindful of is what you hear when you walk into your house. And I'm gonna go through the senses and then I'm gonna explain why. So what you hear, the next thing is the colors. So what kind of colors are in your home? Are they pleasing to your eye? And please remember, I know someone that has an orange wall in her living room. I can't stand it, but it's her house and she likes it. So obviously we're gonna leave it alone.
I've seen a yellow wall like that.
Yellow. I've seen red too. I can't.
Okay.
But that's me. So what colors, what kind of things, also clutter. So when you walk into your home, like, is there stuff everywhere? Is there things going on? Because what happens is that if your home is chaotic, a lot of times you're going to feel chaotic internally. So think about that too, how it impacts you. And this one is fairly simple in my opinion, but very powerful. And that's, what does it smell like when you get home? So, because whatever that smell is, hopefully helps you to signal that you're home, that you're safe, that you're in your own environment. So thinking about candles, diffusers, air fresheners, different things that you can have kind of always going on in the background of your house that helps you to feel comfortable, safe, calm.
Okay. Sounds good.
Temperature is another thing, and like I said, sometimes that's hard. I know for my grandparents, they're always arguing because one likes it hot, one likes it cold, and it's like a fight over that thermostat.
Right.
So keeping that in mind. But the reason why we want to talk about all of these things that I just went through, the 5 senses, impacts the safety part of the brain. So the brain science comes in is that if you create a place, a home, where when you walk in, you immediately know that you're home and your senses start to feel safe and you start to feel like you can relax and that weight from the world and the stress, because we're all doing the most out here.
Right.
And most of us are very stressed because that's just the society we live in. But if we can create a home that is not very cluttered, that has pleasing colors, that has really calming smells, that's not too loud but not too quiet, like creates all those sensory inputs that helps us to feel calm and safe, that helps us to build resilience so that when we're out in the world, we can handle things better. That's the brain science of how to make a house a home.
That's what we doing. We got one more, right?
Yeah, sure.
Keep it locked. We got more. We talking wellness Tuesdays. Here's Arizona Observer's Roxanne. What we're talking about is actually making a house a home, how that helps out us mentally. Number one, creating traditions
Yes.
in the house.
Simple traditions like game night.
Yeah.
Big traditions like cooking big old family meals.
Stuff like that.
Decorating
Cooking together, cleaning together.
Yes.
Stuff like that. Also, you put the brain science on it.
Yep.
Why it's important.
Yep.
My grandma and them made the house feel good. You came in, you protected, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
Super
then
important.
the physicality of making the house a home.
Yes. Trying to create, and some of us have the ability to do this, and some of us don't. But just being mindful, depending on how many people you live in that are living in your home,
Right.
to make sure that everybody has a little space
That's theirs.
that's theirs, just theirs.
Whether it's your room or extra
Spot, yeah. Somewhere that, you get to kind of decorate, even if it's just half of a wall. Somewhere where you get to decorate the way that you want to with your
My
colors.
space.
Yeah. People don't bother your stuff. Having that space. Because we need to have the space in our home to do both. We need to have the space to come together.
commune.
Right.
To commune and to get away.
Yes, to get that support, spend that time with each other, build that strength with whoever it is that's living with us, our family. And especially shout out to all the non-traditional families, because sometimes I feel like non-traditional families are better at this because they're intentional about, like, let me make sure we build time together, let me make sure we have relationship. And then traditional families, if there's like a mom, dad, and kids, sometimes they take it for granted, like, oh, we're just close and it's fine. But regardless of what kind of family you have in the home, your family, you're living together, you're trying to make it work together. So spending that time together, but also having that space in the home where like, you can go to the space, nobody's gonna bother you, everybody kind of knows they're in their little space, let me leave them alone, and then you allow them to have that. So all of those are the factors of creating a home as opposed to just a dwelling where you live.
Big.
Yeah, shout out to my clients who helped inspire me.
Shout out to
Appreciate
my
y'all.
movie room.
Yeah, shouts to you. Look, that's where B was, y'all can't see, but B was just like off into space, and I think he was imagining that he was in his movie room.
I love my movie room. It's junky right now, but I love it. When it's good, it's good.
Yes.
I got my sound right. Got the projector mounted up.
Love it. It's super important.
Yeah.
Super, super important. So for all of y'all that are struggling with the clutter life and struggling with the how do I improve the situation, how do I make a house a home, those things really are important. I think we sometimes think things like clutter and what your house smells like when you come in the house and the volume of the TV or music playing or stuff like that is not a big deal, but it actually is a pretty big deal in terms of creating a sensory safe place.
Yeah.
So we like that.
I like it. You were like, thank you for coming through.
No
How
problem.
do we find out more about Fresh?
Fresh. All things fresh are on healingyouralmond.com. Also check out our Facebook and our Instagram. We posted a recap video of the Smart Start training that we did. So Healing Your Almond will be offering Rewire for Resilience, which is about an hour and a half, 2-hour training that we'll be offering pretty much anywhere in the country, but specifically North Carolina. So if you want to learn more about the brain science behind staying safe and reducing your stress and having healthier work environments and those kind of things, Healing Your Almond would be happy to come do that for you and do a lunch and learn at a church or organization, pretty much anybody. But if you want to see a recap video on it, you can go on our Facebook or our Instagram. And then also you can contact us through Healing Your Almond. Just a reminder, if you guys would like to decide the topic, you can do so by going to healingyouralmond.com, then going to community engagement and submitting that form and asking BiggB and I any question you want to ask.
You could do that.
And that could be next week's topic.
Wellness Tuesdays. Focus. Here. Coast. Nobody does it. Me. I do.
Ooh.
Talking trash today.
Talking all kinds of
People
trash.
like I always say, big up South Side, everybody East and North Side, the Community Boys and Girls Club, Joe Lewis Drum and Drill Team. If better is possible, good is not enough.